topic, factors in problem solving. First, we want to understand algorithms. The whole semester, we study algorithms, but we need to really understand what's the meaning and what is the important factors for the algorithms. Yeah. We need to do a lot of difficult work, but if you do not have good understanding, it will be very hard. Yeah. So this first one, as an introduction part, I tried to bring up the most important factors. All right, so let's start. First, simple question. Why do we need to study algorithms? So in the real world, think about this. You will be the computer professionals. So here you get a training to be a computer professionals. What is the main job for a computer professional? You need to solve computing problems in the real world computing problems. Okay? So many problems could be very difficult. So you get a training, learning the skills, try to prepare you for the real world computing problems. Okay? So that's the general description. Yeah. Then, how can we do well solving computing problem? What do we need? What kind of preparation do we need? Yeah. First, you need a knowledge skills. At least you need to have sufficient knowledge. Learn concepts and skills using the knowledge you learned. All right? Yeah. To be smart in solving problems. Even you have the knowledge and you learn how to solve, how to use the knowledge, how to apply some theory to solve the problems, still, it does not mean you can solve many challenging problems easily. To be smart, so what do you mean? To be smart, to be creative. Here, the smart. So I try to describe it. So I like to use the word creative. Okay, creative. So creative, so something, some knowledge, when you use it in a creative way. Creative way. Not a, duplicate way. If you just duplicate that, some technique, that's not creative, right? Yeah. Someone used it before, you can use it to solve problems. But many times, you cannot just use the old technique directly, right? In a real world situation, you need to modify the existing techniques. Modify in a right way, we call creative, right? Modify it in a right way, then to get a new problem solved, we call creative, okay? If you can only just apply the old techniques the same way when they are used, you cannot modify. You cannot do any modification. That means you are not creative, not smart. How about that description? Okay, yeah, fair description, yeah. So for this class, I really want you to be creative. Yeah. Open your mind. Yeah. You master many principles. Yeah, so principles, but when you use them, you can use various smart ways. Yeah, various smart ways to solve the challenging problems. Yeah. So that's something I want to emphasize in this class. Okay? Yeah. I will show you many examples. Okay? And I will give you strategies, techniques, thinking. In this situation, how do we think? Thinking way. Yeah. try to teach you those things. Yeah. And I hope you can understand and use them solving difficult problems. So that's something we need to do for this class. Okay, all right. All right, the typical situation for a computer professional, yeah. We are a problem solver. We solve real world computing problems. We are a problem solver. Okay? So next, we need to look at a particular real world computing problem. Okay? Yeah. And let's assume some problem is not easy. Yeah. We have plenty of difficult problems to solve in the real world. Right? So here I want to look at the factors that can help you solve difficult problems. All right. So here we look at the high level. Okay. Here we look at the high level. Yeah. Abstract, high level. Yeah. At this point, we do not look at specific problems. Yeah. At the abstract level. Yeah. All right. First, let me use two examples. Chess example and the football game. Two examples. Yeah. Yeah. So we use our experience in the real life to help us understand computing problems. Yeah. We have experience. Okay, real world. Yeah. First, can we treat those two examples as special cases for computing problems? Yeah, here we're talking about computing problem. Right? First, for chess, definitely, we can treat it, characterize it as a computing problem, right? Yeah, yeah. Because you need to do a lot of sophisticated, critical thinking, right? Thinking in your mind. Yeah, that's computing, right? Yeah. All right. But for football game, yeah, we can treat it as a general computing problem, right? Yeah, still a lot of thinking, right? A lot of planning, right? Yeah, some strategies very complicated, right? So in that way, so that means we need to use our brains a lot in planning. When you use your brain a lot, is that computing? We do computing in our mind, in our brain. That's computing, right? Human. Yeah, we do computing in our head, okay? Yeah, so we can characterize it as a general computing problem, okay? So now for the general computing problem, then the first key factor we need to have, can you imagine a little bit? So what kind of thing you need to, so here we are talking about all computing problems. What kind of factor you feel very important in order to solve them? Think about using these two examples. Can you imagine something very important?
What the rules of the game are?
Yeah, rules, yeah, because rules standard, right? Everyone must follow the same rules. Yeah, if it's standard, yeah, although, so that just set the environment for the game, right? Yeah. So we know it's important, but here we talk about different things. Yeah. The standard is fixed, right? It's fixed. Nobody can change. Yeah, although, you know, yeah. So fixed. Here, we look at something that can change. People use that factor to solve the problems effectively. Something people need to use that kind of factor to solve the problem effectively. Try to imagine, you know. Here, let me give you. Yeah. Still, these two examples, strategies. How about that? Do you need strategies? Right? So if you like to play chess, in different situations, do you need to apply some special strategies? Right? That's important, right? Yeah, in this situation, I need to, you know, move some pieces based on some strategy. Football game. Is the strategy important under some special situation? Right? The strategy is extremely important. Therefore, our algorithms, real-world computing problems based on algorithm, strategy is very important. All right? Yeah. So the first factor, strategies, very important. So in this class, we will learn several commonly used strategies helping us solve various computing problems, algorithms problems. Hey, yeah, strategies. Now, after the strategy, there is another important factor. Different from strategy. Yeah, another factor also extremely important. We use these two examples, real-world examples. So we want to look at another important factor. So look at this situation in the football game, typical football game. Yeah. So here, I give you the picture in the final stage. The game near the end, the last minute. And the game result is determined by a field goal. A field goal. Yeah. I have experience watching those games, last minute field goal. Yeah. Exciting, right? Yeah. So the result is determined by that kicker. Do or die. Make it, then win the game. Otherwise, lose the game. Right? So think about that situation. Yeah. Exciting moment, that situation. Which factor is another important factor other than the strategy? Definitely it's not a strategy issue, right? The last minute, right? Last minute. So there is another strategy also very important, right? In that situation, the kicker, yeah, just make it. Okay. Execution. How about that? You know your goal. Yeah, that's simple. Just kick it. You know your goal, but you need to make it, right? That's execution factor. Okay? So here, for our algorithms problem, in order to solve effectively, we need to focus on these two factors. So in the remaining of the semester, when I give you examples, I will work on these two aspects. Okay? Strategies, we will learn a lot of strategies. But other than that, if you only have strategies, you may not be able to solve those problems. Because you don't know how to execute those strategies, right? Think about, if you know the right strategy, does it mean you can solve it effectively? Not necessary. You don't know the execution part. You don't know how to implement your strategy. Think about that. You don't know that. Okay? Yeah. So here, at this point, I may like to use our real-world experience to describe the relationship between these two factors. Relationship. Yeah. Okay. Strategy. So that tells us what direction to go. Yeah, we want to solve that problem. Yeah. So we want to find the right way to solve it. Direction. Direction. High level, general direction. Okay? Yeah. It's like when you travel to a new place. First, you need to know the direction, right? Approximately, some direction. You want to move to the right direction first. Second thing, even you know the direction, how to make it, how to follow the right direction to get there. Still another issue, right? Execution. So in the second part, you need to fix a lot of details. In the strategy level, you don't need a lot of details, right? You don't need a lot of details. But in the execution stage, you need a lot of details. Okay? Yeah. So you need to do a lot of work. Difficult work. Yeah. Yeah. So when you do the preparation, we really need to practice, get a lot of experience in these two aspects. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's move to the, the algorithm. Yeah. Now, based on that, then we need to get an algorithm, step-by-step procedure to do these two things. Yeah. Follow strategy, putting in all the details for the execution, get a problem solved. That's our algorithm. Okay? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Then, to understand algorithm better,